Hey everyone, welcome to Clinic Mindset. Let's get started today. I have an awesome guest. You might have seen him on with me before, one of my best friends in the world, and he's gonna drop it like it's hot today. I mean, you gotta pay attention to every word this guy says because he's somewhat of a wordsmith. I mean, he's very intentional about the words he uses. They all have meaning. What we're gonna go over today, Dr. Stephen Franson is my guest today from the Remarkable Practice. What's up, buddy?
What's up,
We're going to go over metrics, 5 domains. There's 2 main types of metric. Call them pillars if you would. I think you call them, there's 5 domains in each. But there's KPIs that are practice, new patients, attraction, conversion. That's just one piece of the practice metrics, one domain, some pieces in one domain. Also, there's the business metrics that are not what you typically think about in the practice. One thing Steve is also great about is freaking metrics, man. You are a genius with metrics, and it's kind of our love language. We both love it. I really haven't seen any other group put it together the way you do it to make it digestible, understandable, and I'm excited to jump in. So if you want to let it rip, let's do it, bro.
Thank you, Ben. So thanks for having me here. I appreciate the opportunity to serve my mission, which is to help more people. So yes, I love metrics. I love numbers, but it's because of what they represent, right, Cap? It's the impact that we're making on humanity. So some of you might not know me, so I always make sure I start from the heart. Which is, I know we're in the business of saving lives, right? So, and when business is good, everybody wins. Dr. Brian's invited me on to have a business conversation, right? So we're going to focus on the business side of the 2 sides of the chiropractic coin, if you will, right? So if you are a practice owner or plan to be a practice owner, you probably understand that there are 2 distinct sides to the chiropractic coin, if you will. There's the practice side, and then there's the business side, right? So the practice side is the clinical entity that exists to deliver healthcare, right, for the patients, right? So it's the clinical entity that exists to deliver better health experiences and better health outcomes for the patients, right? That's the practice side. The other side of the coin is the business side. And the business is the economic engine that exists to drive productivity in the form of revenues and profits for the owners, for the investors, and for the team. So Dr. Brian, before we get into it, I want to make sure that everybody hears that emphasis that I put on the team, because this is very often the secret sauce, right? This is the magic piece of it, is when you get alignment with your team, not just on the mission, but on the economics, right? So it's like when you get, I think your team's probably aligned with the mission, right? They understand how their work directly impacts your ability to serve patients, right? Their work directly impacts your capacity to serve volumes of patients, right? So they get that. What they don't understand is that their work directly impacts the revenue and the profitability of the business, and they don't care because they don't know what's in it for me, right? So that's a missing piece, Brian, for so many of these business owners, is they're missing what's called the discretionary energy that comes when you get aligned with your people. When your people start to see, wow, when the tide comes in, all boats rise, that's when you can optimize the business. That's where the profit lives.
From your perspective, if this is true, I believe, and I've seen over the years of working with so many practices that have a high burnout churn rate with employees. The reason typically seems to be, to me, they never were able to easily identify that they were actually contributing every day to the business. They loved your purpose, and they probably worked their butt off. They loved your purpose, they loved your mission, they love all that stuff, they love chiropractic. Next thing you know, that person is fried, and they got nothing left in the tank, and they're gone. And then you have to go through the grind of finding and building and training a whole thing all over again. And what I've seen is that usually it's that person just couldn't tie directly what they were doing every single day to not just your mission and purpose, but to the business. And that you, because you were both clear on the KPIs, let's say, that they could clearly identify they were succeeding every day. Because most people love you, love your passion, mission, purpose, but they really have a job, and they want to really just know that they went to their job, did it right, did it well, succeeded, and contributed, and got paid at the end of the day. So,
and you can even hear it in your language, right? So when you talk about they love your mission and your purpose and your vision, and it's your practice and it's your business, right? So if you want to make it about our mission and you want your team to be like, this is our practice, this is our business. One secret ingredient is to make sure that you get aligned economically, right? So that they have to understand, it's like, yes, I get it. The bigger our practice gets, the more impact that we make. But the better the business does, the more income we all make, right? So it's just like, this is a secret component. And frankly, you know what? I never sweat, making sure that everybody is winning, right? So because at the end of the day, we use KPIs and scorecards, and we create accountability around productivity, and all the productivity is tied to revenue and profit, right? So as long as you model the business properly, you want everybody winning, right? So trust me, if everybody's winning, you're winning big, right? And as long as you have things modeled appropriately, right? So here's what I know. So if you guys like this conversation already, I'm going to just tell you that we've got we're going to do a giveaway at the very end of this. It's going to be brief. We're going to only go for about a half an hour. We're going to do a whole series of 5 of these because there's 5 domains to the business. We're going to do 1 of these masterclasses for each of the domains. But this one is special because we've got an immersion coming up, right? So this conversation that we're having about the remarkable business, this side of the chiropractic coin, we actually have an immersion coming up in March. We've got one in Phoenix. We're going to be teaching a remarkable business immersion in Phoenix on March 5th, 6th, and 7th. So Thursday night, all day Friday, all day Saturday. So that's coming right up on us. I know that this is going to be coming in hot a couple of weeks before the immersion itself in the Phoenix. But then we go on to Brisbane. I'm sure that this is a global audience. So 2 weeks later, I'm going to be teaching the same content with our awesome team in Brisbane, Australia. So we will give you more information, but there's a QR code here. If you're like, man, I definitely love this conversation. I want to get into it because I definitely want to be able to drive more profit in my business, right? So here's what I know to be true, Dr. Brian. So everything that we want out of our life, right? Everything we want out of our practice, everything we want out of our business will be found on the other side of greater accountability, right? So greater accountability is the secret to this, right? So, and I know that you cannot hold somebody accountable to something that you don't measure, right? So at the end of the day, you certainly can't manage it or lead it well. You can't hold them accountable to anything that's not measured, right? So you can't manage what you don't measure, and you definitely can't master what you don't measure. So that means you're not optimizing it, which means you are leaving money on the table, right? So if you don't know your metrics, right? If you don't know your data, if you don't know your stats, as we say in chiropractic, you are literally leaving money on the table because you don't understand it, right? So my hope today is that we can help eradicate some of that, maybe close a bit of a knowledge gap for people, right? Or at least shed a light on the fact that, wow, there's so much opportunity for you to grow your practice impact and your personal income by getting a better handle on these metrics. So I don't want this to be dizzying when somebody looks at this. This is like a master sheet. This is a cover sheet for what we call our KPI legend, right? So when you look at this, what you see in the left-hand column, these are the practice metrics, right? So the practice, again, this is the clinical entity. These are your operations, your process, your procedures, your day 1, day 2, day 3, 4, right? That's what's on the left-hand column, right? So look at the domains. It's attraction, conversion, retention, team building, and collections. Now, the other side of the coin is that right column. Look at the top. It's the business metrics, right? This is the economics of it, right? So when we look at the business metrics, the domains are marketing, sales, delivery, people, and money. So you can see these are complement domains. It's the other side of the coin. Now, some of you look at this list of metrics and you know, it's a holy shit moment, right? So some of you are like, holy shit, that's awesome. How do I get my hands on that awesome infographic, right? And other people I know, you threw up in your a little bit when you saw that. You're like, oh my gosh, look at all of those metrics, right? And I don't want to lose you here, right? So I want you to know that we're not trying to take something that's hard and make it easy, but we take something that's hard and make it easier, right? So we make it easier for you and your team. And we're going to show you, these are the 5 most important marketing metrics that you need to be measuring. Just measure these 5, right? These are the 5 metrics that matter in each of these domains, right? So Brian, you and I are going to do this study. We're going to focus on the right column. And we're going to do a series here. We're going to do each of these business domains. Today, we're going to have a conversation about marketing, and we're going to simplify this. We're going to talk about 5 numbers. Okay. So marketing is a big beast. Everybody loves to talk about new patients. Man, I need more new patients. But at the end of the day, Brian, most people hate marketing because they feel like they are just spending a fortune And either they don't know if they're getting good results, they're pretty sure they're not getting good results, they don't know how to measure, am I getting a good result, good return on my, all I know is I need more new ones, and I know that it's getting more and more expensive to get them.
When you're talking about retention and a conversion, and it's a perfect synergy, but like you said, you eat a sandwich one bite at a time. And so when you look at the whole thing, seems like a lot, seems like too much, but next thing you know, you take one bite and another, and you're like, that wasn't so much. And you got a foot long in your stomach, and you're good. So take it one bite at a time. We're in the business marketing metrics. This is one of 5 in the business side of things.
And it's about let's simplify things and let's create clarity, right? So clarity is the greatest accelerant, right? So what you're doing is you're saying, these are the 5 numbers that we're going to focus on, and focus is what turns busyness into productivity. None of us want to be busier. We all want to be more productive, right? And I want everybody to be investing in their business with confidence. I want you boldly investing in your business. And a big way to invest in growing your business, making a bigger impact, make a bigger income is through marketing, and marketing intelligently, right? And by marketing intelligently, I'm not just talking about a skill set. I'm talking about business intelligence or the data behind marketing. So here's my top 5. It's CPL, cost per lead, CAC or CAC, which is cost to acquire a customer. Number 3 is LTV or lifetime value. Number 4 is LTV or lifetime value to cost to acquire a customer as a ratio. So we took number 2 and number 3 and turned it into a ratio for number 4. And number 5 is a real high level sort of conceptual term, which is ROAS, which is return on ad spend. So let's take a lap through these. I'm going to explain what they are, and let's just unpack one of these. Okay. So if we look at CPL, cost per lead is what does it cost you to generate a lead into your practice, right? So a lead is a person that you have scheduled for them to come into for a day one. That's what we call a lead in the Rockwell practice, right? So you take your total marketing spend and you divide it by the total number of leads that you generated in that same time period. That's going to tell you what does it cost us to get a lead. Number 2 is very specific, right? So cost to acquire a customer, okay? So CAC, one of the most important numbers, right? CAC is your total marketing and sales spend divided by the total number of converted patients in the same time period. So we might be talking about 30 days, we might be talking about 90 days, right? So it's like, what did you spend in marketing and sales in total in that time period divided by the total number of people that converted to care in that same time period? So the question I usually get here is like, sales expense. What do you mean? Like, I understand my marketing expense, like all the money I spend in marketing. What's included in marketing expenses is like, well, most people immediately start thinking about just digital marketing, right? But we know this internal, external, and digital marketing, right? So how much are you spending in your marketing in total? All of your internal, external, and digital marketing activities, all of it, including somebody who's on your team that might be a dedicated person who's only doing marketing. Their salary is considered a marketing spend, right? So if you have a fractional digital expert, like you're contracting somebody who does your ads for you, for example, right? So somebody who does meta ads, right? What you pay them is obviously part of your marketing spend, right? Including your ad spend, right? So I'll add all that up. So, and then what about sales? What about sales expenses? In a chiropractic office, it typically is, if you have a doctor that is converting patients and you give them some type of sliding scale compensation, some kind of incentive, some type of commission, some type of bonus, if they close somebody, that would be a sales expense, right? Or if you have a case manager, like a business office manager in the back of the house, and they do your financials and they get a commission or a bonus if somebody closes on the financials, that would be an example of a sales expense. So not to get too detailed on this, but I want to make sure you guys understand that goes into your CAC, or cost to acquire a customer or a patient, right? Number 3 is LTV, okay? LTV is lifetime value, okay? So lifetime value simply states, how much does the average patient pay us over their entire lifetime? How much do they spend in our practice, right? So the quick and dirty way to calculate this, Dr. Brian, is 2 numbers. It's CVA times PVA. CVA is collection visit average. PVA is patient visit average. So CVA, collection visit average, is what do we get paid on average per visit? So take your total collections divided by total number of visits, right? So that's going to give you your collection visit average in any given time period. And then our PVA, which is patient visit average, which is how many adjustments does the typical person that commits to care actually get over their lifetime. So take your total number of visits divided by the total number of people that converted in any given time period, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, right? So now it's PVA times CVA. So you've got lifetime value. How much does a person pay us over their lifetime? It's number of visits times what do we get paid on average. So there we have those two numbers, the LTV and the CAC. Now we look at number 4, which is the LTV CAC ratio, right? So this is a really important number because now what you're looking at is, I want to know what is the efficiency of my business. Okay. So when I look at LTV, I'm looking at the efficiency and the effectiveness of the business, right? So there's a ratio that you're going to get. It might be 3-to-1, it might be 6-to-1, it might be 9-to-1, it might be 12-to-1, whatever the ratio is, it's going to tell you about the efficiency of your business, specifically around new business generation and retention, which in essence is the chiropractic business, right? So I know what you're going to ask me. What's a good target? Like, what should you be going for, right? So it's a very complicated dynamic, but at the end of the day, there's 3 parts of a business. There's marketing, sales, and delivery, attraction, conversion, retention. If you have automations built in to your business in all 3 of those, right? So like automated marketing, one-to-many, automated sales, one-to-many, automated delivery, one-to-many, right? It's all fully leveraged. You can get away with a 3-to-1 ratio there and you'd be a healthy business, right? Should be a good business. But for most of us, we might have automated and leveraged marketing. So we might have one of those 3 as leveraged, right? So some of us do one-to-many sales. Like if you do group report of findings, for example, and you're converting 10 people from the front of the room, that would be leveraged sales, right? So, but none of us really are doing automated or leveraged adjusting, right? We're not doing one-to-many adjusting unless you guys are stacking your patients up on top of each other and just with one thrust adjusting 5 people, right? So let's assume you're 1 out of the 3 or maybe 2 out of the 3 are automated or leveraged or one-to-many versus one-to-one. So therefore you need to be 6-to-1 to 9-to-1 LTV CAC ratio. Okay. So a good target there is 6-to-1 to 9-to-1. Again, you guys, this is advanced stuff, what we just got into, right? So if you like this conversation, but you're like, I do not know this information and I don't know how to get it, absolutely make sure you're at the Remarkable Business Immersion because you'll learn how to do this, right? So you'll learn how to track the information and most importantly, you'll learn how to influence the information.
And that's why if you're a ClinicMind customer, you got to get the TRP Vitals dashboards. All these numbers are why we built those things. So it's much easier, super easy for you to find the numbers. So you don't, it's not, obscure. It's not something you have to think about every single time. Which report do I got to go to? What data do I need to download? And how do I calculate it? It's just in there for you. So the TRP Vitals dash, if you don't have it, ask support, chat support, they'll help you find it.
And I so appreciate ClinicMind making that investment in your product and in our relationship is just building out the vital signs metrics, our reporting system, so that, like what I just said, how do you calculate lifetime value, right? So it's LTV is going to be calculated for you. It's just PVA times CVA. And you're already calculating those numbers. So you don't have to ask your office manager to spend the afternoon to try to figure it out, right? So because it's just part of the ongoing hygiene of running a good business. So you're always optimizing your profit margin, right? So last one on this is ROAS. ROAS is a concept of return on ad spend, right? So this is a way of describing the return on investment of your marketing spend against either a particular ad, an ad set, or a funnel, right? To be able to say, man, I put $1 in and I get $5 back, or I put $1 in and I get $7 back, right? So it's a way to say, what is my return on spend, Dr. Brian? And it's a way for you to be constantly monitoring your marketing so that you can identify what's the top performers. Because at the end of the day, once you dial into a winner, you want to push more money into it because the return on invested capital there is stunning, right? So when you nail it, but if you don't know how to do this, you are spraying and praying. So now you're spending more money than you want to. Listen to the irony in this. You're spending more money than you want to because you're not getting the return on the investment, right? And the punchline is you're absolutely not spending enough money to even be in the game. And once you do figure out your ROAS and figure out which ads are winning, you'd push your chips in. You would 5x your marketing spend and probably 5 to 10x the return that you would be seeing on it with new patients, right? So it's really tragic with the way chiropractors are doing it. They're totally guessing. They're spraying and praying. They have no idea what they should be measuring, right? They don't even know how to have an intelligent conversation with the person they're paying to do their marketing. So they're stressed out. They're wasting their money because they don't know how to measure the outcomes, and they're underspending, so they can't even make an impact, right? So it's like once you do figure this out, guys, believe me, you'll increase your marketing spend because you're going to increase your return.
Having just focus on it for just a little while, you'll start to see the power of it. And also how this goes hand in glove with the other side of things when you're the other metrics, right? And the practice metrics, when you talk about retention, business metrics, everybody knows that it's a 10-to-1 return on investment to retain patients, right? It costs 10 times less to retain a patient than it does to try to convert new ones. So you gotta know both sides of the coin, like Doc said earlier on. So this is the one side of the coin, the business metrics, but they go hand in glove, and that's why they break them down into different events and make sure you can digest them one at a time. That's why we built the vitals on one side, and then the dirty dozen and the documentation on the other side. That's retention stuff, right? So they both matter. So really important. Awesome.
100%. Well, if you guys like this conversation, you're going to love the immersion that we're teaching in March 5th, 6th, and 7th in Phoenix, Arizona. There's a QR code here for you guys. It's 2.5 days, Thursday evening, all day Friday, all day Saturday. And we're going to get into all 5 of the domains for you and for your team, right? You shouldn't be the only one that understands the economics of your business. Remember, your team is going to drive the revenue and the profit in the business if they understand it, right? So we're going to hit the marketing, we're going to do sales, we're going to do delivery, we're going to do people, and we're going to do money, all 5 domains at this one immersion. You'll see there's a QR code here. There's 2 different types of tickets. There's a single seat for an owner doc, that's $500. And then there is a team seat that's $1,500. I believe it's 5 seats, Brian. I believe it's 5 seats. And we're also going to do a giveaway, right? So ClinicMind is generous enough to say, hey, yeah, we're going to pick up one of the tickets for one of our awesome ClinicMind clients. So we're going to give away 2 tickets, right? So 2 tickets. So you can DM me on Instagram. So you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Dr. Stephen Franson, just one word, no punctuation or caps, just on Instagram at Dr. Stephen Franson. Just shoot me a DM, and here's what we want you to write: remarkable_ClinicMind, right? So the first 2 people to write remarkable_ClinicMind and DM me my coaching page on Instagram, those first 2 people are going to win golden tickets, so free tickets. And Cap, I really appreciate you. You're making that happen and putting us in front of your people, man.
So we did marketing on the business side.
Yep.
What would be next? What should they stay tuned?
We're going to go into sales. Yeah. So next time we're together, we're going to go into the sales metrics. We're going to talk about what it looks like to track the metrics. What are the metrics that matter around your conversion process, new patient conversion? Everybody, don't forget, message Dr. Stephen here at Dr. Stephen Franson on Instagram. And it's remarkable_ClinicMind. We'll see you at the event. Thanks, brother. See you next time. All right, guys. Next time. I'll see you in Phoenix. Thanks, brother. God bless.
ClinicMind, your all-in partner for practice success.